Welcome to the Reride. I'm sure most normal people are asleep right now, but that has never stopped the true trivia connoisseurs from imposing their ruined sleep schedules on everyone around them. One player. It's always a treat when things can get close and personal. Is this your Excellent, thank you. That makes all our jobs so much easier. As a reminder, here are your buzzers. Please allow me to remind you that this is a non-profit fan project in no way associated with Jackbox Games. You are now ready for the Reride. I wish you the very best of luck.
It's time for the show where hot culture and pop culture collide. This episode of The Reride is brought to you by Barry's Historical Beard Balm. Grow a mane like Karl Marx or a goatee like Gandhi. Distinction through facial hair, one follicle at a time. And now, here's your host, the Knight Rider of Needless Knowledge, Conan Blankenberg.
Welcome aboard, team player! So, you're all about sharing discoveries, glory, and radiation burns alike. Nothing screams team spirit like synchronized trips to the oncology ward. Just make sure your group photo is taken with a short exposure. Remember, if you start glowing in the dark, at least you'll never need a nightlight again. The eyes of history are on you tonight. Can you handle the pressure and become the greatest to ever play this game? Probably not. Let's ride. Alright, we can't move on until you pick a value, so go ahead. It's time for Getting Healthy at Horrifying Scales. You ever tried to lose weight? The scariest thing about it is stepping on the scale every day. Suppose you buy a Muda scale to convince yourself you actually are losing weight. If you step on the scale and it reads 1.0, what have you lost? Control of your bowels, your ability to see color, a massive amount of blood, or your hearing. Based on an extremely bloody 1992 match between the Great Muta and Hiroshi Hase, the Muta scale is used by pro wrestling fans to measure the amount of bloodshed in a wrestling match. And while losing massive amounts of blood isn't a particularly effective way to lose weight, it is a surprisingly effective way to lose everything else. Smash the buzzer when you see the good stuff fly by. Let's go. Pucker up for Goat Simulator. As much as I enjoy watching sports on TV, the one thing I can't stand is the endless time spent debating who's the greatest athlete of all time. There's just too many variables between different sports to properly compare them, but maybe I can offer a solution. Suppose you can only be considered the GOAT if you come from the country where the earliest known domesticated goats came from. Who would be eligible for the debate? An Iranian wrestler, a Kenyan distance runner, a New Zealand rugby player, or a Japanese baseball player? Swing and a miss. The earliest evidence of domesticated goats comes from villages in Iran about 9,000 years ago. But honestly, we all know the real goats are the people who have to clean up the mess sports fans leave, demolishing their entire cities after their teams engage in the vile crime of, winning a thing in sports. Am I right, Philly? Alright, everybody's waiting on you to pick a value, so go ahead and do it.
Bingo.
There was a man who was the best at everything he did. G-R-E-A-T, G-R-E-A-T, G-R-E-A-T. Too bad he's a piece of shit.
Welcome to Great. Remember, buzz in when the first letter of the correct answer lights up to win the cash. If you pick up all 5 letters, you win the bonus. Okay, enough jibber jabber, let's do this. Broadway's greatest prize. Hollywood's greatest prize. His death cost the Great War. Archduke Ferdinand. World War I German fighter pilot, the blank Baron. Beatles' #1 album containing Here Comes the Sun. American TV's greatest prize. Emmy. The music industry's greatest prize. Grammy. Oceanic wonder, the Great Barrier Blank. Reef. The king of rock and roll. Thank you very much. Hockey's great one, Wayne Blank. Gretzky. Bannister, who ran the first 4-minute mile. Teddy, who speaks soft and carries a big stick. Roosevelt. 3-time F1 champion Blank Senna. Peter the Great, blank of all Russia. Tsar. Great! Bonus! And there's your current score. Hope you're proud of it. If not, well, too bad. Let's move on. Hit your buzzer at the right time and we might play for some actual cash. Well, it ain't the jackpot, but at least we're not wasting our time here. Here's your category. Who, Doctor? Remember the Back to the Future movies and how Doc Brown always exclaimed, "Great Scott!" I always wondered what he meant by that. Who is not a great Scott? The lead singer of Creed, the composer of An American in Paris, the writer of The Star-Spangled Banner, or Stifler from the American Pie films? This answer is Francis Scott Off-Key. Scott Stapp sings for Creed, Francis Scott Key composed The Star-Spangled Banner, and Scott Stifler is, well, Stifler, but An American in Paris was composed by George Gershwin. Okay, well, I guess that makes sense. Shouts Great Scott and probably meant one of those, or some other Great Scott. Yeah. I've got a question for you, if you've got a value for me. Oh, nice! And here is your category. Back to the previous question. You know what? I can't get this out of my head, and now that I think about it, maybe that's not what Doc Brown meant. Maybe he meant the Gordon Ramsay kind of Scott. So who's not a great Scott? Sean Connery, Gareth Bale, Robert Burns, or Gordon Ramsay? That's not the right answer. Gareth Bale is Welsh, not Scottish. But he's gotta be more than great if he's gonna carry the Welsh national soccer team. Pretty sure he's gotta be the greatest magician to ever walk this planet. Come and get yourself a nice allowance, hit your buzzer, and let's do it. Cool. And now it's time for a little question I like to call Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad War. We going? We going. Let's do it. Considering their species, which of these titular characters would be the most inspired by stories of Alexander the Great's famous siege of Megalopolis? Horton hears a who, toot toot, this answer's a hoot. Alexander the Great's army used elephants to besiege Megalopolis in 318 BC. And if Horton doesn't give up his pacifist ways and refuses to get in line with Alexander, there's gonna be some new ivory forks at dinner tonight. Okay, we need some money to play for, so why don't you buzz in and pick us some? Dogs, 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 dogs. All right. This very much looks like a... Yeah, all right. Yeah, I knew it. Okay, well, it's time to do this then. Let's take a look at the actual category for this gibberish question. The Jack Zelda crossover you didn't know you needed. Remember, that cash is gonna drop fast, so if you want to win big, you gotta be quick. Take a look at this special crossover gibberish phrase and tell me what famous saying it rhymes with. Nate finds Link a bike. Great minds think alike, but fools seldom remember that the saying ends with, but fools seldom differ. Okay, gonna need a value from ya. Pay attention and get ready for... El Gatsby Tea. You know how the book The Great Gatsby takes place in the villages of East Egg and West Egg? Well, according to LGBT slang, what would happen if Jay Gatsby, resident of West Egg, cracked his egg? He would lose his virginity, he would realize that he's a woman, he would get a vasectomy, or he would go vegan and stop wearing wool. You know, it would be funny if it weren't so sad. Actually, it is quite funny. Oh boy, someone's got egg on their face. Cracking one's egg is slang for the moment one realizes they're trans. And since this is a serious topic, I'm not gonna make any jokes about it. Okay, buzz in when you see a number that looks good to you. Ha! Now that's what I call a big stinker. Here's the category. Great maths. Please keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle for the full duration of this ride. Let's go. How would you determine the breathtaking volume of the Great Pyramid? Subtract the sum of its mesmerizing sides from its magnificent height times 4, add its fantastical circumference to its... This is gonna hurt you a lot more than it hurts me. And here's what you didn't pick. The volume of a pyramid is a third of the area of its base times its height. Shout out to the Sphinx, who gracefully donated this question to the program. Show me the money, hit your buzzer at the right time. Introducing... Gonzo in 60 seconds. This question is for $4719 so show me your best side. Suppose Gonzo the Great leaves the Muppets to pursue a career in gonzo journalism. How should he research a topic? Use lots of sweeping shots of nature, delve deep into politician scandals, question people by surprise, or jump in to get personal experiences instead of objective facts? Oh, yes, that makes me very happy. Hunter S. Thompson pioneered the genre of gonzo journalism, characterized by a first-person narrative and a lack of objectivity. But if Gonzo really wants to emulate Thompson, he's gonna have to acquire a massive coke habit. Hit buzzer, select value, it's easy as ABC, let's go! Great moment has come. Here's your ticket to the history books. The Great Jack Attack. What kind of great stuff did they star in? Good luck. What in the hell was that? Did you just give up? Let's survey the damage! Pathetic.